It is I, your main man, the Bash Brother of RPG. And if you ain't down with Carney Lansford, you need to get your soul right for the athletic might. So let me talk to you today about today's topic of the day, of the fresh day deal, and what's really real. We're going to talk about multiple characters from a player's point in an RPG. Now, we've seen that before, the troop style play. We've seen that. I mean, you may have experienced that at one point in your RPG career, perhaps even early on, and had a horrendous experience with it because it wasn't implemented in the best possible way, in a way to really uh, add to the game. In fact, it can often detract from the game. And the main reason it's going to detract from the game in your brain is so much statistical interface. Anyone knows me knows I am well onto the rules light, maybe even the slightly middle portion of the rules light. But when you get any heavier than that, sheets and this and that, and so much information, remembering who's got 100 arrows and who's got 99 sling bullets. Well, I don't know about 99 sling bullets, but I know about 99, if you will, 99,000 humans. And we know who that's a problem for out there in the RPG vortex. So this is something that, and leave the comments below when you've seen it just done horrendously. Share your RPG horror stories with a teller of tales of the macabre and the bitch ass in RPG. Write down in the box below with your voice for the Free Voice, Free Speech Network, if you will, for your opinions and explorations of RPG creativity. Now, you could see a wonderful example of this done not only right, but brilliantly. And you want to see something done right. You want to see it done brilliantly so you can crib it, so you can steal it, so you can beg, borrow, and take it home with you for the night, try it on, see if it fits just right. Now, you want to check out the Big Don, my man Lou. Check out his channel, subscribe to it, and look at the videos. Look at the underworld, the underneath, the beneath the surface, if you will, saga that's still going on within the Ring of Fire. You haven't picked up within the Ring of Fire? I wrote it. You should buy it. You should read it. And just like everyone that has, you'll fucking love it. Because it takes RPGs in a different way. It shows you how you can blend that much lighter rule aspect to RPGs, that heavily focused aspect of showing you how to roleplay in a deep, immersive way. And it fits in to the mindset of actually, in my opinion, what a role-playing game should be, and the opinion of many others, far better than what else you're going to find. You can hit me up on Facebook at the $75 PDF deal for all the PDFs that are out, and all that will come out. And we do have more coming. But that's something outside of even the game itself that's really going to help you, because it's about figuring out those little, it's about taking stuff off your game master's plate that's unnecessary. Those exhaustive little small piece of background details, that individual, the streets, this, that, and the other thing. It's about a game master just giving the hands off. Now, you need to be able to trust your players. If your players are horrible, you know what I say about them. Don't make them your players. You've got players you trust, players that are fun, players that are smart, players that themselves have probably run a lot of games. They can see when to step in and when to pull back with those minor interactions. You know, it could be just like it was last night in With the Ring of Fire in Lou's game Beneath the Surface. Stepping in quick, grabbing a spotlight fast, and pulling back just as quickly into obscurity and oblivion. Handling those situations, just seeing what it is. And particularly with your players, and you have great chemistry. This is a game where the other players, Phil from Philippe Gorgella, you go subscribe to him, and my man also Trevor from Onion Kid, you subscribe to him as well. And we have great chemistry together. It's easy to just kind of, and this is on Google Plus, where one person can talk at a time, and your main man sometimes runs over people because I get a little delay or something, and I just got to get in there, baby. But it'd be so much easier. God, if we're all sitting around a table, it'd be amazingly easy to do that. But waiting for that second to interject, bam, 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 bam. 7 seconds later, you've pulled back, but you've gotten the liveliness, the vividness of that individual. You know, you don't need to know how many arrows that man's carrying. You understand what I'm saying? You just need to to add that creative spark. And when you have very, very, very small areas that are essentially irrelevant, that your players are basically running for you, it can take so much weight off a game master, because the game master pulls back. He doesn't have to talk. That's a few more seconds he doesn't, where he's loading up. You understand what I'm saying? He's preparing. He's getting that next thing where he's going to interface really ready, and he's looking at that. And often that might give a game master more energy, seeing the characters pump, seeing the players ready to go, being very entertained by that action. Now, in a game like this is how it kind of starts off, right? And Lou and the other players of the game just all did this brilliantly. Not even really sure who to put what credit on, because it was a team effort. You know, it's you win as a team, you lose as a team. So on this team, the roster was full out of all-star players. You understand? Now, I'd strongly recommend anyone, if you can get one of the one shots for Winter Fire Lou Rudds, you're gonna love it, man. They are. It may even be for many of you a different RPG experience than you've had, a more complete, a more fulfilling experience. And you just go on Raw Immersive Games on our official Facebook forum and just interact with the people there, you know. And so many games get posted, looking for players all the time, and it's just fantastic stuff. And not just Lou, I mean, there's so many other fantastic Flame tenders that are out there running stuff that I think you're really going to love. So I think well worth your time if you have the time to play something online in a non highly committed way, just a single one shot, and then perhaps getting into something longer, more involved, more of a saga as you go along, because that, of course, is offered or there quite often as well from many different flame tenders. Now, it really creates a much better flow to a game. It's trust, and these characters, they're basically there just to get a little bit of the subtext over, to get a little bit of the theme and the feeling over in the game, so that you as a game master, you as a player, can feel a small additional depth and a small additional amount of nuance to the overall feeling. Remember, we're not doing anything, we're just talking to each other. There's no screen here, so it is abundantly clear that everyone there needs to do everything they can to make that creative game space experience as real as possible. Embrace illusion, add to it. Don't roll to disbelieve it, roll to believe it. And when you're adding to it, when you're taking those ethereal strains and putting more and more and more on it, you're making that paper mache thicker and thicker and thicker, and more durable and more easily to believe, easily believable. So that's just one of the best gifts you can give a game master, a flame tender, if you will, in a game that has moderate to heavier levels. When a game has a heavy need for a mechanical implementation in it, particularly games that use grids, 5-foot squares, things like that, it could be almost impossible to do this well. That style of rule necessity can make it very, very different. When you have a freer condition which you're working in, boom, grab it up, roll, go, 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 go. For example, let me tell you this. Phil is interacting. He's playing with Ferrum, and he's interacting slightly out of place in this really high-end social situation where the players are in a large party to the goddess of beauty, Cinder. Now, when you have him there, it's a little funny, it's a little awkward, but his character is not incapable of handling that. But it adds natural levity to the game, and I think I'm going to do a video about comedy coming up here, perhaps after this one. I know you guys have been begging for the videos. I see the numerous Facebook and just requests all over the place, if you will. Google Plus, one old videos, wherever. So I'm going to try to get you guys some more videos out here. Apologies for being super, super busy in life. And that's no excuse. So, Phil, a little awkward in the scene, right? It's dancing, it's all this, but there's a Ferrum band playing, and they're artistic, but sort of in a rustic fashion. They're playing music that is artistic, right? It's experimental, it's maybe avant-garde, and that for the moment is in vogue. And Cinder is the goddess of fashion, the goddess of style, and you have to sometimes walk out to the edge and sort of pull back. What will be embraced, what will be discarded, and experiment with that to really make the full decision. Now, the Farum are often horrifyingly ignorant people, and we spotlighted that both. I don't know which one of us came in first. You'd have to watch and take a look. I think it might have been Trevor who came in first as one of the band members, just right into one of the band members' character as my character's consort. My character's Kafar. Kafar do not believe in marriage. They have no desire for marriage. I'm not going to go into the whole story. Watch do a video on Kafar and kind of explain that. But that's not their bag, baby. So, but it's a long. I mean, for many cycles we're together. We have 2 children in the game. The game isn't fantasy adventuring, hit people with man catchers and joust goblins. It's about the life of people in this city, and it's just fantastic. It has a deeper feel than that, but it has a bit of within the Ring of Fire. Definitely, though it's fantasy, probably plays more like Vampire the Masquerade than Dungeons and Dragons. To kind of give you an idea, you're someone that's special in the city. Our characters are senators. We were councilmen. I decided as a councilman that I would declare that we were senators, and so we are. Now, being in this party scene, and Lou's like cycling through pictures of people that are at the party. So you're like, okay, well, let me go talk to that person. Let me do this. And it really gives a great sense. The music's playing, and these Farum are playing that music. My consort, she's a total bitch. She is a total bitch, and that's great about her. I mean, she's fucking fantastic. Lou's got a great voice for a fantastic Ember, but she's a bitch, and that's not really surprising because Call Farver in general, male or female, pretty bitchy. But they're wonderful. They're like in the best possible way bitchy, and you're going to see that coming out in different ways. There's the dominance, the submissive aspects to them, and my catalyst is doing everything he can to get away from her, because though they had something, it's so frayed at this point, which really injects a lot of, I think, realism into it. It's absolutely fantastic. This is one I would strongly recommend anyone that wants to see how a role playing game at an A+ level works. Watch, and there's so many lessons you can see in real application working there, from tragedy to sorrow to comedy to triumph to misery to cliffhangers. This could 100%, be dressed up just from watching the game. Could be dressed up, scripted out, and put on television. It feels like to me what an actual RPG should be in a fantastically glowing, triumphant way. And of course, we have a fantastic, just an A+ level game master and 2 players that I really couldn't ask for any better players than these to play with. They're both an utter honor and joy to play with. And when you meet people to play with people like that, it's just so refreshing and fantastic. So, doing all that, and I know I rambled, but anyone watching my videos know I'm the stream of consciousness man. I might be here, I might be in Japan. You never know, and you never know if I give a damn. But this one simple instance, right? And I'm going to pop the game master. I'm going to try to pop the players in the game master. I'm trying to get them like, oh, or just start fucking barreling out laughing, so they have to turn their goddamn monitor off, or hit the mute or something like that. Duck over here like this, because that's fun, right? And he comes in being this ignorant Farum musician, and I go, oh. So I jump in as like the like a vocalist for this group, right? And I'm coming back to her. She wants it changed, and we're trying to throw her more avant-garde, stylistic art from our community in the form of song. And I'm throwing out every buzzword we've established for Farum, every single one of them. And I take a real song. I just took, you have to watch, and you can see if you can figure it out. I took it, and I did it terribly on purpose, so it didn't really sound like that. But I'm stomping and singing it. I'm singing for real on there for, just a few seconds to kind of give a real authentic taste of what's going on. And Trevor's coming in, boom, boom, boom. So it was fantastic, right? And our characters are right there. Now, what we did in the beginning is we had these catalysts, just like you'd make for any sort of game, like you might make, your Call of Cthulhu Investigator or your, Malkavian for Vampire or what have you. And we're in the city, we're doing our different things, building our fortunes, becoming movers and players and shakers in the community. My character's very, very young when I started, and we've gone so long, like 100 cycles have passed, and we've seen my character went from an adolescent to a man in his prime, and Trevor's catalyst is a well old man at this point. He's old as fuck. He's old as some ogre ass balls, and we've seen that. We've seen changes in all the characters, in the way they're being portrayed, in the way they're being played, and then there's an undercurrent now. So we're playing additional catalyst that we have sheets for that we're building up. I have one that is my catalyst daughter, and Trevor has one that's catalyst son, and Phil is doing. He has like two other ones he's working that aren't in any relation to him. But they're on the street level. We're high up, and they're lower. They're starting. They're doing their thing, so it gives a different interface. And they just call up Blue's like, bam, now this scene with this catalyst, or hey, I don't have scenes ready. Not seeing I have scenes ready. I don't. This is free scene time. This is free play. Okay, boom, boom. You want to do what with what? Hit me up on Facebook. Bam, 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 bam. And Lou's looking at Facebook. He's looking here, and he's one of the hardest working mans behind the screen, so to say. Though we don't use screens, but it just boom, 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 hitting him with messages here, private messages, Facebook messages, whatever. To hey, let's get this in, let's get that scene, bing, bing, boom, and he's trying to get everything there and kind of already preset in a way where the sequence is going to be really good, and we'll hit back to flashbacks. Sometimes we even go forward. It's not just necessarily linearly done time wise, which just adds into the overall flavor of the game. So bringing in that group, just passersby, bums on the street, just giving just a random boom. All right, so you're doing this, bam. Now we've interjected this little situation for you. Bam, I interjected a little situation for me. There's a beggar there. There's rowdy drunks. There's or we like to do this one for Phil, where he'll be like making points. Because he's got like the scrummiest, the dirtiest individuals around town. And just putting over, he'll be trying to rally them up, a man of the people, you understand. The man, definitely a warrior, a blacksmith, who can know what else that man will do, a senator, most assuredly a man of the people. And he'll be rallying them, and then Trevor and I will get in and playing the people, usually just at one line, like one will come in, then another, and then often it slowly we'll get I don't want to say silly, it'll get starting, often showing a higher class of these people, then going derogatorily down with just running out, the various comments to show the poverty, to show the ignorance, to show the filthiness of those scrummy folk there. This isn't high, glorious, shiny armor land of fantasy. I'm not about that. It's dark, it's dirty, it's savage, it's vicious, it's lice-ridden. And it comes across far more real than I think you're going to engage those things in. So bringing all that together can really give a nice freshness. It can help keep maybe your primary catalyst very fresh. It can give you a way to do different voices, begin in different characters, bring forth to really show your RPG credentials, and particularly if that hasn't been shown so much, you can okay, well, my character's this, but look at there, I just did 5 completely different characters in this very same session. It can really come across well. It can give you a tremendous boost. It adds to it. I'm a huge proponent of taking as much as you can off a game master's table, so the game master can do as much as he or she can with what's left, which is the parts they need to do. There's tons of stuff game masters do all the time that they never need to do. Don't keep track of your reaction or your initiative or whatever you want to call, combat lines. Your game master needs to keep track of as little as he or she can, because it takes that over away from them, it prevents them being overwhelmed. It prevents them, or at least helps against that, and against them getting burned out. So like, oh, I'm doing everything. My players are just sitting there. Be proactive. Grab, grab, grab. Do. Get involved. Make it fun. Make it energy. You want to get everybody at the table right on the end of the seat. Pow, 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 pow. And when you get that sick flow happening in your game, it's going to be fun. It's going to be amazingly fun. People are going to go home, high five. Yes, that was it. And it's going to cause other people to say, "Ooh, I'm going to get out there. I'm going to give my best. And I'm going to get my best role play in." There are some types of players you can't do that with. And quite frankly, if you are a role player, and I've been a big proponent of this, there's certain types of players you cannot play with and have the optimal time. And I've received well over 1,000, well over 1,000 different people echoing those sort of sentiments or bringing them to me or kind of thanking me for kind of walking through and explaining that. So it's something I'm very firm about. You need to be able to have those kind of exchanges because you want to get what you want. And that type of player is fine. You do whatever you want. But you need that type of player around you. If you just want to, talk at a character all night and just kind of hang out with people and eat some popcorn. All right, that's fine. But it's not going to work and meld well with a role playing experience. Anyway, I am your main man. I am wearing my Oakland Athletics hat. I don't know a single player on the team now. But good Lord, one day, baby, at one point, at one time in history. Check out Within the Ring of Fire RPG game made by your main man. Check out Lou's videos. Go subscribe to the channel and support it. Just watch some of them. Particularly if you're new to RPGs, this is very critically important that you see how it's done at an excellent, dare I say, professional level to really give you tools, ideas, answers, characters, all sorts of things you could just steal. You steal them, we won't know. You ain't gonna get in trouble. We don't give a fuck. Take away whatever you can, wherever the lessons are. When it looks like, hey, that's gonna work well. That's gonna give me something hot. Take it, do it, use it. It's awesome, and it's also awesome you guys watch the channel. That you guys are here to support. I appreciate you. Love you guys, and I'll be back with more videos in a blink of an eye. If you understand.